Hey, in this video, I want to share with you the top 3 habits that are crushing entrepreneurs. And these aren't habits like biting your nails or picking your nose. Sometimes you just can't control that with some people. These are habits that you can control that if you find yourself doing, you must stop now. So watch all the way through. Hey, my name is Pat Flynn, here to help you make more money, save more time, and help more people too. And I've coached a number of people, and I've seen all kinds of things that people do to essentially shoot themselves in the foot. And I don't want you to do the same thing. Now, before I tell you these 3 things, I want to tell you what I mean by crushing entrepreneurs and habits that can hold you back. Habits are obviously things that you do sort of behaviorally. You don't even really know that you're doing. They're kind of ingrained in you. So it's really important to address these things because sometimes you don't even know you're doing these things. So these things can hold you back from finding success, from doing the things that you need to do. They can distract you, all those kinds of things. So we're gonna start with number 3 and move on to number 1. And so make sure you pay attention because these are really, really important. Number 3, and this is a common one, I've suffered from this as well, and that is starting too many things and not finishing those things that you start. Now, you might be just like me and get very excited about trying new things, attempting new projects. It's always a fun thing to do, to experiment, and the possibilities are always there, right? Like the what if, you get that entrepreneurial bug that's really exciting. But then that bug wears away when you've been working on that project for a while or you start to get to tough parts. So then you look for something new to give you those kind of good feelings again. And if you do this too often, it becomes a habit where you don't even know that you're not even attempting to finish something because there's always these new things. And then your brain kind of like looks for those new things because that's kind of the fun part, right? But the truth is that unlike food, unlike exercise, a project that's only 50% of the way done is actually 0% done for the end user. So you have to follow through and finish, or else it's kind of all for nothing. So what do you do? How do you balance this? Because yes, we have to pay attention to new opportunities, but we also have to see things through. So what I would recommend is to do a couple things. Number 1, make sure you write down all the things that you're working on right now and all the different projects that you are using your time and energy for. Sometimes just writing these things down, you get to see, wow, just how overwhelming all of this is. And then you can begin to prioritize which ones are most important, which ones you can stop, start, or continue. If you also need some help, sometimes it's important to get an outside perspective. So if you have something like a mastermind group, and I have some resources here on the YouTube channel for that as well, I'll put in the description below or in the card above. If you have other people around you who kind of know what your project is and kind of understand where you want to be, they can help you understand what it's like from an outside view, because sometimes when you're deep in the middle of your own projects, it's hard to see exactly, well, I'm actually working on the wrong thing here. You have to have an outside perspective sometimes to know really what's going on. And finally, there's a great book I want to recommend to you about the power of following through and finishing one thing at a time, and its book is called The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. It was an instrumental book in my journey because it really helped me understand the consequences of dividing my energy across all these different spaces. There's even a diagram in there that shows you just how most people, especially entrepreneurs, divide their energy. It's when you can increase the energy for each individual product and project that you're gonna see better results. So again, to reiterate, if you don't finish something, you're not giving it the chance to actually do what it needs to do. You might think that you're a failure because all these projects are bad ideas, but perhaps they're just because you actually haven't given them a chance to succeed. The other question is, if you find a new opportunity, beware, because it might be trying to distract you from what you should be working on. The truth is, you can put most of those new ideas away for later once you have opened up time for yourself. All right, next habit that crushes entrepreneur, number 2, and that is micromanaging your team. Now, when you're starting out and you're a solopreneur, likely you are wearing all the hats and doing all the things. But when you're building your team or you're hiring VAs and things like that, when you start to have other people come on board, you can get very lost in micromanaging that person or those people. I remember the first time I hired a VA back in 2011 or 2012 or so. I hired this person and I just wanted to check in on them every single day to make sure they were doing everything perfectly, which was actually taking more time than the thing I hired them to do. So micromanaging kind of defeats the whole purpose of hiring in the first place. So make sure that you have your person hired and you can trust them, right? So the way that you hire, who you hire, where you get that referral from really matters. But beyond that, helping them understand what you want them to do by creating things like standard operating procedures or having your own system and having them implement that is going to be really important. And then thirdly, letting go, allowing them to actually do those things. Yes, they may make mistakes, but that's part of the learning process between you and your VA or your hire. So make sure you understand that when you hire somebody, yes, initially you're gonna work with them to help them understand how you want things to be done and what those systems are. But then you gotta, like I said, let go a little bit and trust them. And it'll be a conversation that you and that person or those people will have over time to take even more of yourself out of that situation. All right, and then habit number 1, the one that I see the most common that crushes most entrepreneurs, is the idea of consuming more than you take action. Meaning you're gonna learn a lot of things and then you don't actually implement what you learn. This can be very simple, especially if you are somebody who loves to read books or listen to podcast episodes or watch YouTube videos. Perhaps it is often a distraction that you don't even know is happening. It becomes habitual to absorb this information because we get really excited about, again, the new possibilities, the new things we're learning, but it can also become overwhelming because then we don't even know which action to take first, thus not taking any action at all, which then is basically a waste of time. So what I would recommend is implementing what I've been taught, and that is the just-in-time learning method. The just-in-time learning method is not just in time like Justin Timberlake or Justin Bieber. Just in time means you are only letting yourself consume and learn information about the next task that you have going on. So whatever that next task is, which obviously is important to figure out, you only allow yourself to consume information that's gonna help you achieve that goal or finish that task. Now, when I've done this before and I've taught this to others, the big question is, well, I don't want to, like, how do I make sure I don't lose out on this great information that's out there that is coming across my social streams that I don't want to miss, even though it's not necessarily 100% relevant to what I'm doing right now? The answer is you save it for later. So I use a tool called Evernote Web Clipper to keep track of whatever it is I'm finding online so that I can go and find it later. That way I don't have FOMO. I don't have the fear of missing out on this new thing or this new article or this new post or podcast episode that a person has. I know I could always go back to it later because I categorize it and I can find it if I need it. The funny thing about this is I hardly ever go back to read or listen to these things because it's just not anything I need anymore. It's funny how when something comes across our plate that we feel like we have to eat it, but you don't. You can put it aside for later and focus on what you need to focus on, which will help you with task number 1, which is finishing those projects, right? So now we're getting more time to finish the things and hopefully letting our team do a lot of that effort too, so that way we can have a winning business. Don't spend more time consuming than you are actually creating. Go out there, create, and build a successful business, and hopefully these tips are gonna help you. Are you doing any of these habits? Actually, down below, let me know if you have caught yourself doing any of these things. Again, to reiterate, starting too many things and not finishing any of them. Number 2, micromanaging your team. Or number 3, actually consuming more than you take action. Are you doing any of those 3 things? Put a comment down below. And also, if you have any other habits that you might be doing that you know you shouldn't be doing, let's share with the Team Flynn community here so we can all learn from each other too. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then click on the screen for the next video that's gonna be relevant to you to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. Thanks so much.